Hi, I'm Joe Revita from Empire Music, empiremusic.com in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we are a Martin custom shop expert dealer, one of only 25 worldwide. And that lets us bring the best Martin guitars to you, like this iconic D-35. You can see the Martin D-35 in our entire collection right at empiremusic.com. You can call us at 412-343-5299. You can always call or text me directly, 412-915-7118, my real cell phone. Give me a shout. Take great care of you. We do full factory setups on everything we sell, 0% financing. We'll get you a smoking deal. We've never done the D-35 video before, and I was didn't really realize why. We haven't had a D-35 in quite a while. It's been hard to get guitars, and I'm stoked to have it come through. An iconic instrument introduced in 1965, and probably one of the most recorded guitars, no, not probably, one of the most recorded acoustic guitars in modern music history. And it's easy to see why. An incredible sounding instrument. What do we know about the D-35? All solid wood, made in our home state of Pennsylvania, Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Solid Sitka spruce top, 3-piece, solid East Indian rosewood back and sides. So cosmetically, how you can tell the difference between it and a 28 model is 3-piece versus 2-piece. The 35 models are always 3-piece. And this has cream binding with no herringbone. That's how we know it's not an HD-35. This instrument is special because it gives a totally different sonic profile compared to the 28. And there's only one real modest sonic change inside in terms of under the hood that makes that difference. And it goes to show you when you're hand building instruments and you're designing things, how much bracing matters. You know, we go online and we listen to guitars and we look at guitars and we read about guitars. And really, the woods are all super important. All the ingredients are important. But the bracing is always kind of going to tell you what the guitar maker is trying to tell us about the instrument. The woods can do something, but with bracing, we can accentuate certain parts of tone. And the 35 model is a phenomenal example of that. Ebony fingerboard and bridge, forward shifted X bracing, again, 1/4 inch. Bone nut and saddle. The neck shape is a modified low oval PA taper, the sleekest Martin shape. So getting all that stuff out of the way. But the real secret is that 1/4 inch bracing. 28 models have 5/16 inch bracing. And you wouldn't think a 1/16 of an inch would make that big a difference. Sonically, it does. The stiffer your bracing, the stiffer the top. 28 models, which are obviously iconic. A lot of flat pickers like to play, bluegrass players play the 28 because it stings you. The top is stiff, hits you almost like a banjo. It cuts through that mix, but you don't get as much bottom end. You don't get as much robustness. You don't get as much fullness, and you definitely don't get as much sustain. Whereas with the 1/4 inch bracing here, we get a fatter tone. We get a little more sustain. We get an overall rounder sound. And they obviously make the HD-35. You can see that on our site as well. And the HD-35 would be scalloped bracing, which would be even darker sounding. So kind of in the spectrum of tones, your D-28 would be what I would consider to be the brightest and tightest and the most sting. Then you'd have the D-35. Then you'd have the HD-28 and HD-35. The 35, you think Johnny Cash, modern players, Seth Avett. There's a lot of love for the 35. And I prefer it over the 28 style as a general rule, because if you're strumming the guitar, it sounds way bigger. This guitar is beastly, and the bottom end is fatter. You can just hear it compared to a 28. The 28 definitely has a more focused, it's super defined, it's kind of, the bass is tighter, whereas here you get kind of that fullness you expect when you strum a Martin. I think a lot of times players are surprised. We have customers that come in and want to try a D28 because it's a D28, you want a D28. And then you play it like, ooh, that's a little bright. And it's not as open sounding. This is the one that's going to kind of fill the coffee shop as a solo player. But you can still do the finger, like the flat picking and the tight, get that tight definition because you still have non-scallop bracing. Let's check out the dynamic range. Martin guitars are huge sounding. This guy is massive sounding. What's cool with the non-scallop bracing, like this model here, is that the top is super responsive. So when we play lightly, it really gives you a lot of tone quickly. Really chimey. Rosewood has extra bass, extra trebles, and the mids are compressed. Even though that's the case, by not scalloping the bracing, we get more heard mids. Our mids are still really defined. That top end has that big sparkle we expect. And the bottom end is full and boomy. A really, really just big sounding guitar. And since we have 1/4 inch bracing, like I said, you get the combination of the warmth of that, but by not scalloping it, we get the definition. And that's going to be important when we go through the middle of the neck of the guitar, because sometimes I find personally when we get into some models with a scallop bracing, when you strum through them, it's like you basically hear the bass notes, then the treble notes. The mids kind of vanish on us, and it makes the guitar sound brighter than it is because the middle section isn't there. So you just get this big boom and then nothing, 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 smack, treble. And here you're not going to have that. It's going to be much more lively through the mids. Guitar is really, really lively through the middle. You can even hear it just through your basic scale work. The middle stands up brilliantly. The D-35. Introduced in 1965, and why I bring that up, that's new for Martin, right? You know, it's just like considering how old they are, this is a modern design. Gives us the boom of rosewood, the definition that we want in a guitar, top to bottom, and that woodsy overall feel. It's hand-built, hand-braced, right in Pennsylvania, so it's American-made, premium tone woods, solid Sitka spruce, solid East Indian rosewood, back and sides. You want to get it from us because we are a Martin Custom Shop expert dealer. All of our photos are dead on the site. You'll see the serial number, the exact guitar you'll receive. We're always here for you, 412-343-5299. You can always call or text me directly, 412-915-7118. You can chat with us through empiremusic.com. We'll hook you up with a factory setup that is dialed in and ready to play, full factory setup, not just an inspection. We take a lot of pride in the guitars we send out. We'd love to hook you up with a great Martin guitar. I'm Joe Ravita from Empire Music, empiremusic.com in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Please subscribe to our channel. This is the Martin D-35. Thanks for watching.